Hi there, welcome back. We're going to do a chatty video today.
Yep.
Giving you a chat and a bit of a review of our recent Disneyland Paris trip.
Bit of a lowdown.
Yeah. Before we start though, I just want to let you know that we are recording on a brand new camera. It's the first time we're using it. And just in case it looks weird, we haven't used it before, we don't know how this is going to look. Yeah. And also we're used to having a screen on top of the camera and it's actually at the side. So
it's trying not to look at the actual screen because you'll see eyes. I mean, from a distance it probably doesn't look too bad. You can kind of look, but closer you get, I think you're going to see your eyes looking to one side. It's going to look a bit strange, isn't it? Yeah,
but we want to get used to it before we go on our next Florida trip. So our old camera is falling to bits. We've been using it since 2016.
That's going to be a backup, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, it's very dusty and it doesn't come clean anymore, as you may well have noticed in our trip videos, especially on a sunny day. It's really dirty inside that lens and the shutter is very temperamental. Sometimes I have to force open to be able to use the camera.
And I know other people have started using the Sony as well, and they're really pleased with it. So
we're trying it.
So yeah,
a few of our friends have got it now, haven't they?
Yes, they have. One upon our recommendation from someone else getting it.
Yeah.
So and they love it as well. So.
Yeah, so we're excited to try it, but if it looks a bit weird, I'm sorry. And we did want to film this video for last weekend. We got back and I did my usual of going away and getting sick, and I've just been full of cold all this week.
You haven't been good. It's the worst I've seen you.
Anyway, let's talk about something nice. We went to Disneyland Paris. It was only a week ago. It seems longer ago.
Yeah, just over a week ago. Yeah. So it was a week and a few days. Got a few notes here, just some key points here.
Yeah.
We're hopefully going to get another video out in regards to, I think we explained before, we've still got our Orlando series. That's going to continue. We'd like to get a Disneyland Paris video out just showing some of the 30th bits and pieces, some of the snacks,
all that kind of thing, merch.
What basically is there, because I know people have already got trips coming up, so it won't be like the daily vlog, but maybe a bit like an extended trailer, more or less, isn't it?
Yeah, maybe.
So maybe just a video, just show what's there.
Things you can't miss, because there's some amazing stuff.
Yes, yeah.
I think we're going to jump straight into that because we feel really excited. It was
should we talk about those first?
Oh, that's a good point, actually. Yes, but first of all, we were there for 4 days, weren't we? 3 nights. We went premiere in and then 3 nights in Sequoia Lodge. First time staying there. But you're right, let's talk about travel requirements first.
Yeah, travel requirements. We did fill in our, what's the form for France?
My mind's gone blank.
Oh, what is it about things when we start thinking of things and we forget the names?
Sworn statement.
Sworn statement. Now, we were unsure if we needed to fill it in or not, but we did anyway.
Basically, last time we were being hounded by Eurotunnel, we drove there by the shuttle for travel requirements weeks before, or days and days before, but you're supposed to do them like the day or two before. And this time, I was just getting emails with all the green ticks saying it was all pre-approved. So we just thought, do we not need to do anything anymore? However, we couldn't really find any clear information, could we? So we could when we checked it on Eurotunnel. It might be different when you fly. I'm not sure. I know Georgia flew, so I don't know if it's different to fly. But I do know that the Eurotunnel we weren't sure, so we did it anyway, and we printed off the sworn statement. It says for orange countries. We thought we were green, but then my friend Alex is going and he thinks actually we're still an orange country, so maybe we just misunderstood, but it wasn't clear, was it? No, but on the Eurotunnel website you could, or an app, you can actually upload, I'm sure the app as well, but we did on the site, you can upload your document, your sworn statement, your vaccination status as well. We didn't need to do that, did we? No, we did. Did we? We didn't. I don't know if we needed to, but we could do. So I thought we're not being very helpful, actually. No, we're not. But I think the not a problem, but the thing that happened, literally as we were going, I think a few days before, the requirements changed. So France were now, for example, masks had been stopped. Yeah. And I think things were in a state of like. It was literally the day after. Literally the day after. So. I think when we did it, and whether it's helpful or not, I don't think you need it now, and I don't think we actually need it, but we did it just in case. Last thing we wanted to do was go then and say you haven't got this. So we went prepared. We had all our paper copies anyway, and I'd always do that anyway. As we've said before, take it with you. I mean,
things are just changing all the time now.
Yeah, so have your paper copies with you anyway, just in case. But we just did everything just in case, didn't we?
And we got all the green ticks on Eurotunnel anyway, so it's a case of, yep, you're ready to go. And as you said, you got the email saying you're ready to travel.
Pre-approved. So we were a bit confused.
We just went and had everything just in case.
Going through passport control, no questions or anything, it was really easy. And then in France, there weren't any masks. So like going into the services when we drove, there were no masks. Nope. And then when we arrived in Disney, last time you had to show all your vaccinations, didn't you?
Yes.
And then you were given a band to be able to go into the resorts and not have to be checked again. None of that this time.
No. And also, yeah, going through security, still go through security, but
at Disney Village.
Disney Village, not having to check COVID passes before going through there. So that has all gone. Obviously, this is correct as of us travelling last week.
Yeah.
So, of course, if things happen to change and it goes back to that,
yeah,
just check before you travel, just to be sure. We had all ours ready anyway, and we had the French app anyway, and we had uploaded our NHS COVID pass anyway,
yeah,
so we were prepared.
Had it all ready just in case.
Didn't have to use it once, so
and no masks at all.
And I have to say, it was so nice. That was actually a real positive thing, wasn't it? It felt normal, seeing people's faces, expression, people laughing. So
really
no,
nice.
it was.
I just
really
want to
nice.
say as well, because I know I've just said there was no masks anywhere. I tested daily whilst I was poorly just now, and I was negative the whole time. So it's not that I went and got COVID in France. I work really long hours for myself, and every single time I take a break, I get poorly.
You normally lose your voice, don't you? That's the first thing that
I get really bad headaches, but this time I just got a really bad cold. But it happens to me every single time.
Yeah.
But no, I did test, and I was negative, and I tested a few days in a row.
Yeah, I actually tested as well, didn't I?
You did, just to be safe
just
as
to
well.
be sure as well.
Because we were around family and that when we came
especially
back.
as you came back and started being poorly. So...
Well, it always happens to me. I did it in Florida, didn't I?
Yeah.
I've done it previous trips.
But in regard to the travel was easy. What time did we get there? About 10:30, wasn't it?
Yeah, really
so
early.
10:30 France time.
And it was so sunny.
It was so sunny when we arrived. I mean, maybe we'll just move on to... I'm just trying to see what point number 2 is there. Well, I guess in some ways, I know we can do this afterwards, but what do you want to talk about now?
Well,
do you want to talk about the resort, or do you want to talk about the actual 30th?
I'm really excited to tell everybody about
how amazing. You want to talk about the park, don't you?
Oh, it was amazing. There's something about Paris and the music.
Yeah. Last time as well.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And the time before.
Yeah.
There's something about the music, the songs. Even when you walk into Hollywood Studios, that song that they play. Oh, I'm doing it again, aren't I?
Walt Disney World. We should play bingo or something.
Oh, gosh. What is it called? Studios?
Walt Disney Studios.
Yeah.
Is it Walt Disney Studios?
I don't know. But there's something about the music that they get right in Paris.
Yeah, it is. It is
so
very.
But they play the music over and over, so it gets in your head. So the 30th music that they're playing when you arrive in the morning, the same on the parades. We heard it different times throughout, and it just really it becomes like almost the theme tune of your trip, doesn't it?
Yep. No, it was such a lovely feeling being there, and again for the 30th. I mean, we were so lucky with the weather as well. I mean, it was blue sky. The first day was a little bit overcast, but the rest of it was blue skies and sun.
It was really chilly in the morning. I'm glad we had coats, and for the evening,
yes,
that we sort of had the sort that you could like roll up and put in your bag. But in the afternoon, it was tight, soft t-shirts on, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, it definitely was. It was.
It was really good. We were so lucky, and blue skies the whole time.
Yeah, it was so nice. It was so nice. I mean, talking about the park and the 30th, because it is the 30th anniversary of Walt Disney World
no,
Paris.
It's not. You're doing it now. Disneyland Paris.
Disneyland
used to
Paris.
be Euro Disney.
It used to be Euro
That's
Disney.
What we grew up calling it.
Why was I about to call it Walt Disney World Paris? It's not, is it? It's Disney. Oh dear.
It's me that gets muddled up. It's not usually you.
But it was the colours there. The purple around the 30th is a common factor
like
around.
The purplies, the blues, the pinks. It's beautiful.
And also it wasn't until that we may have been totally daft missing this, but the 30th. I don't think I've got the 30th here.
What's that?
But seeing the 30th, it wasn't.
Let me find something. I will have something here. 2 seconds.
I'll just carry on while you go and find something. It wasn't until we watched the drone show, which was absolutely amazing, and then the 30th tilted, and then we realised, Oh yeah, it's a Mickey.
By the way,
oh sorry.
I was going to say I'm a journaler, a scrapbooker, and I always put everything from the whole trip into a bag. So I've got a Starbucks bag, anything from packaging, because I'm going to use this in my journals. I have a journaling channel if anyone's interested, and I sort of like do all my memory keeping of the trip. So I'll leave the link to that below. But this is...
You're one of the napkins there.
Yeah, I've got loads of bits in here. Here you
now,
go.
we may be completely daft by not noticing this.
Anyone else notice?
But I was just looking at the 30th. Looking at the 30th. And it wasn't until seeing the drone show. I mean, it is so obvious. And
is that going to be the wrong way round on there, or will it be shown
we'll see,
correct?
won't we? So, but we'll see. But it is obviously just a Mickey. How simple is that?
I know, it's so cool.
Why didn't we see that? I mean, again, call us. Well,
we were blind to it. Have you noticed it before?
We just saw the 30th and hadn't seen the hidden Mickey.
It's so cool.
So, other way.
I like that.
Yeah, do you like that?
Yeah, it's on there as well.
But no, the colours, the decoration, the music, the park.
It is only on like Main Street, isn't it? It doesn't really expand out to other areas. There's cool food as well, snacks.
Yeah,
but we'll talk about that in a separate video.
We'll talk about that separate video, and we'll
Where's
talk about our favourite snacks and bits and pieces. But the actual park itself, I thoroughly enjoyed being there. Just being there.
The atmosphere.
People that follow along with us will know the fact that it isn't just the attractions. It's just being there, walking around, enjoying, and we definitely got that, especially because there were quite a few parades during the day.
Yeah.
Even if you weren't there, it's being close enough to hear the music.
Yeah, like we were sat in Casey's corner having lunch, and it was just going on, and it just feels like you're almost in a party, doesn't it?
Yeah, and because we'd seen it a couple of times, it was just a case of like, just
sort of
you know what's going
along.
on and enjoy it. Much the same we've done in Orlando before, haven't we? So.
And the merch was quite cool as well. We picked up a few bits and pieces. Unfortunately, the Starbucks mugs came out after we'd gone.
Yeah, we saw photos literally the day after, so
a couple of days later,
we've missed out on the 30th of those. So
I think we have enough Starbucks mugs.
Never have enough Starbucks mugs.
You do. Right, the next thing.
Should we talk about, I think it's our room.
I know, we didn't want to bring any negativity to the video, but we need to address it because it was mentioned in our stories.
Yeah, it was mentioned in our stories,
on
and
Instagram.
we just, because some people have said that they're a little bit concerned about staying at Sequoia Lodge. They're booked there and they're actually thinking of, well, should they or should they not? As a summary, very high level, I think most people may have seen. If they haven't, please, you can go and look on our stories on Instagram. You'll see there.
Save to highlight.
We're not going to discuss about that now. This isn't the purpose of this video, but basically we had a room that was, let's say, hadn't even been cleaned. It was rectified. We moved to another room. That's the long and short of it. So this isn't the purpose of this, but it was quite appalling, really.
And it took 3.5 hours to rectify.
Exactly. But apart from that, I mean, well, let's talk about the room first of all a little bit, about the review. Do you want to talk about the room first, then we'll talk about the actual resort?
Yeah, the resort we loved, by the way, the
hotel.
hotel.
So we'll get to that in a minute, because that's a nice thing to talk about.
Yeah.
The room itself was...
The clean room.
The clean room. It was also... Do you know when you go into a room and you can tell it's being cleaned, it smells nice?
Yeah.
You could just tell.
The second room.
The second room, yeah. So...
Yeah. And the view was lovely. We looked out. If you know Sequoia Lodge, we were on the back. So you have a little bit of decking out there, and we could see the decking. We were on the back. It was beautiful. We could see the trees.
It was so nice, so light and airy. There was lots of windows along the room. Unfortunately, you couldn't actually open the windows.
We knew the rooms were basic. We'd done our homework.
Yep.
We knew they were basic. And we would actually say more basic than Santa Fe and Hotel Cheyenne.
Yep, I would probably choose the rooms in either Cheyenne or Santa Fe before going to...
Cheyenne so far has been my favourite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean...
I can't fault that resort at all.
No, I mean, and when we're talking about basic, it felt like there was an empty room, and they
It was a large room.
It was a large room, don't get me wrong, but they'd like just put a table in. They'd put a what do you call it? Not chest of drawers, but there was a unit for the TV unit and things like that with the drawers underneath. Whereas I found it was a much more usable space in Cheyenne and Santa Fe.
Even though it was smaller.
Even though it was smaller, it was a much more usable space.
I'm guessing it's an older hotel, so things like this is what we wanted to talk about, just so anyone staying there knows. So it's not a moan, it's to actually help you plug sockets.
Yeah, there were 2 plug sockets in the room that you could use. One was right by the door as you entered, so I couldn't quite work that out.
Right by the bathroom.
I know why it was there. It's probably there for cleaners because they can hoover.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah, so plug in, they can clean, away you go. But
you can't actually use it.
Well, you can.
But you don't want your phone.
You wouldn't want your phone plugged by. Well, the fact is, anything there is you most likely either get trodden on or it's going to get caught. There's again no practical usable space.
It's right by the door.
So it wasn't something you could leave something on the table or anything. So there was one plug socket, literally one under the TV. Now, because of everything we always take with us, with the various cameras and other equipment and bits and pieces, we always take an extension lead with us. Now, we actually typically take, I mean, we're obviously driving so we had space, but we've got a nice little one here. This one's made by Belkin, actually.
We take them to Florida as well.
Brand as well. So, for example, surge protected and things like that. Travel adapter, quite useful. Obviously, the kind of things we're plugging in, not saying that, we took the portable fridge. It's not something, we're not putting high loads on there. So we know just on one socket we're going to be okay. Most of it's plugging phones and camera batteries up.
Yeah. We have a lot of chargers and
because
things.
We have a lot, so we were great because we could use this.
But you've also got possibly 4 of you staying in a room because you have the two beds, so it could be like with us if we had the kids, you've got 4 phones needing to charge.
Yeah, so you could take an essential lead and then you could take like 2 or 3 sort of chargers, but there's something else that we actually take on our trip. And we will see if we make sure added this to our storefront on Amazon. These made by Anchor. Is that focusing?
Yeah.
I like the focus on this.
Oh yeah, it's a fast focus, isn't it?
Yeah. So these are made by Anchor. I love this brand. I use a lot of their portable batteries and they're excellent. Now this is a charger that has 2 normal USBs. Good, yeah.
That's really fast.
So 2 USBs and there's USB-C. Now this is one that's actually, it's not the cheap one. I think this was about £45. But it's because it's got, I think the ports are like 65 watts. You get some chargers that aren't that powerful. So you get cheaper chargers. And if you see cheaper chargers on Amazon, fine. But they generally won't charge things as fast or charge them at all. So this one here will easily charge the laptop, like a MacBook or something like that, because it's got 65 watt charging port, and then the 2 USB ports as well. I can't remember what it is, the actual ports, but I'm not going to bore you with that now. But it's decent enough that you can have all 3 plugged in, iPad, phone, battery charger,
that's the other
things like
thing,
that.
people with iPads and things as well.
And the great thing with this is as well, this obviously got a UK plug. Let's get your face out of the way.
Thanks.
This has got a UK plug. We're going to have to work out how to do this, to do close-ups, aren't we? It's got a UK plug, but it actually slides off and you can have the European, and it also comes with the US.
To make sure you don't lose them.
They all go in a little pouch in my bag.
Aww,
so yeah,
cute.
So it has the US as well. So it's not too big, but
it's really handy.
if you think about it, we had this in the airport when we came back from Orlando, and I think it was who was with us, and
Laura and Dad.
They needed to charge their phone, so we were sat there for an hour or so, and they could just plug straight in.
Yeah, so, it doesn't take up much space in your bag.
So although you think, okay, that's expensive for the price, it really, really does help. So if you've got one plug socket, if you're going away, you can actually charge quite a few things with that.
There was a plug socket with a lamp plugged in on the other side of the table. However, it only works when the main light's on.
Yeah, so you couldn't use that overnight. So
because you'd have the main light on the whole time.
Yeah, and they actually the hotel bought us a fan to use.
That's another story.
But of course, I tried to explain we can't actually plug it in there because it means we've got to keep the light on the whole time.
The rooms are very, very warm at Sequoia Lodge. I think because we had an unusually spring hot week. It was very warm.
Yeah.
We did have the sun coming through, so we kept the curtains closed to try and keep the heat out. But it was a very stuffy room, and this is something else to be aware of, that the windows at Sequoia Lodge can't be opened for safety reasons. They're very large windows. Again, I'm guessing that it was built before health and safety, so the handles are all removed. Only the cleaners can have the handles to open the windows. But the problem that we had was that the air conditioning is only turned on in the summer months.
Yeah.
So
when in summer? I don't know if they're meaning that's July, August. If you have,
we had heating that we could use in Santa Fe and Cheyenne, Hotel Cheyenne. It just seems a bit mean that they don't switch
air conditioning on. So
it was really stuffy.
It was really stuffy.
You know when you wake up in the night feeling sick, and it made my eczema flare up. I was waking up itching my feet and my arms and my legs. It was just horrible, wasn't it?
Yeah, it wasn't the.
I didn't sleep very well there. I was shattered. That's probably another reason I ended up getting poorly. I'm just exhausted.
So the actual resort itself,
we loved it.
We loved it. The moment we arrived there, pulled up in the car park.
Blue skies.
Blue skies. It was a little bit chilly.
But it was all these trees and there's music playing. Oh, it was lovely. It was like we'd been completely transported somewhere that we'd never been to.
Yeah, and it reminded me a lot of the Grand Californian. Is it Grand Californian?
Yeah,
Grand California in LA, in Disneyland, one of the resorts there. Had that feel about it. Although we'd never walked around that resort, it had that kind of Californian feel.
We walked inside it and around
and Sequoia Lodge,
yeah.
Before we saw anything else, it had that kind of American feel to it.
Yeah, because it's all based, like we were just talking, national parks in the US.
So there are different lodges there. There's the Sequoia Lodge, then there's the Yosemite Lodge, the Big Sur.
Yeah.
And we realised it's the national parks in the US.
And it definitely had that feel.
They're named after. So it had that feel, even the trees as well. It was like the big, what are the
redwoods.
The redwoods and things like that. So the actual resort itself, inside and out,
and it's kept beautifully.
It was lovely to walk around, and
so
also
peaceful.
hearing the birds. And also there were actually bird sounds as well, weren't there?
Yeah,
that
we
heard,
piped
so
in. But also, we noticed this a lot throughout Disneyland Paris. The plants that have been planted are really fragrant. I think there's been a lot of thought.
Oh, yes.
There's a lot of jasmine, and there's the smells walking around. We've actually come home. We've bought rhododendrons. We've bought jasmines. They were just all so beautiful, weren't they?
Yeah, no, it was so nice, and I say just wandering around, and inside as well. The hotel inside was so nice. Again, had that real, what is its name? Sequoia Lodge.
So we're talking about it now, and it makes me want to go back.
No, it does.
It's just the rooms.
It's just the rooms, and I think we chatted before this when we were running through and making our list. I said, if we go back to Disneyland Paris, it will be a place I'd love to go for drinks in the evening. I would stay there again. I wouldn't get put off by what happened.
We'd just go better prepared.
But we'd go better prepared. I think we were unlucky, let's just say that. But I think I'd go there. I actually even preferred it, bar-wise, to Newport Bay. It had such a, should we say, a cosier feel.
If you like Alanis Morissette.
Oh yeah, big thumbs up. You're in.
What is it with them and their loops? Hotel Cheyenne is the same. We went back there, had a coffee the afternoon we arrived. It's still the same music that's on like an hour loop. And we found the same in the bar. We had 2 evenings. And Alanis Morissette is played a lot.
Quite a lot. I mean, it was good. The rest, it was a good selection of music, wasn't it?
But it's the
fact it was on quite a short repeat. So if you're just walking through,
a lot of staff. Can you imagine?
Probably wouldn't realise. But if you're sat there for an hour, a couple of hours, yeah.
But we loved the bar there.
The bar there was nice, and again, I know this isn't the purpose of this video, but we had one of the 30th cocktails. That was so nice. That raspberry in it.
Cocktails tonight?
Yeah, it can do actually. Yeah. The raspberry in that was so nice. We'll talk about that in another video.
We loved the resort.
The resort was gorgeous. So it's so nice inside. The decking area outside, just looking out in the sun.
Yeah. You can pull up some chairs, some big relaxing chairs. That was really fun.
So again, like we've said in our, should we say, in our Florida vlogs, we do like going sort of resort hopping and looking at different resorts where you can go to look, see, eat, drink. Exactly same with Disneyland Paris. I'd say check the resorts out. This is definitely one to go, and if you want a few bar snacks
and relax
and things like that.
Good chicken wings.
The chicken wings were lovely. So
right, that takes us on to food. We had a problem with food.
Should we say what I did?
Part of it is down to our lack of research.
Should we say what we were planning to do?
Okay.
The last, do you want me to say, or do you want
go
to say? Last trip we did in November in Disneyland Paris, we actually had quite a few dining reservations. We were there with...
I think we had one every day, didn't we?
Yeah, and because we were there at the same time there with Lee and Nick, we decided to eat together. So it was really nice. And
also, the parks closed earlier.
Yes.
So there was no evening shows. So we were leaving the parks about 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock.
Then going to grab food, weren't we?
It was a nice time.
And in Newport Bay, we ate at
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock.
Yeah.
We ate at Ludwig's or King Ludwig's, or the name of it. So we did eat. This time we thought, do you know what? Not saying, we'd do a budget trip, but we will see if we can snack our way through the day.
We missed the
and
snacks,
parks.
didn't we, in November? And there was a lot. We made a list of food we wanted to eat, and the majority of them were snacks and quick serves. There was a lot of the 30th celebration things we wanted to try.
Yep.
We knew we wouldn't be able to have all of those and have a big meal in the evening. Plus, we wanted to stay for the 30th celebrations, which were at 8, so we wouldn't be leaving the park until about 8:30. We didn't want to be eating about 9 o'clock. That would be too late for us. And then we wanted the early start to do extra magic.
So we were thinking we'd grab snacks through the park. Now we knew that there were the 30th, but we also thought, well, where the deli is, the croque monsieurs, there's the baguettes. We thought, right, we've almost got we know what we could get.
We knew what we wanted. We researched the menu items, didn't we?
Yeah, and like the
quick
waffles
serves.
and things like that.
There was a lot of quick serve stuff that we really wanted.
So we thought, shouldn't be a problem. We're not, should we say, big eaters. We love our food, but we thought we'd get through, wouldn't we?
We did have one dining reservation, and that was at the grill in Sequoia Lodge. However, because of all the problems on our first night, we ended up cancelling it for whatever reason.
Yeah.
It just didn't work out.
Yeah, because we wanted to make sure we saw the Delight show, didn't we, more than once, and it meant if we did that dining reservation, we would have missed that on one of the nights. So, because we couldn't do it the first night. But food-wise, there was, when we got there, thinking, well, great, we can grab like a croque monsieur maybe for breakfast.
Which is what we did on our
previous trip. They were not serving the savoury food until after 11 a.m. at the deli. And we thought,
and also, well, the other place where we got croque monsieurs from before, they weren't doing those either. They'd
the
stopped.
Simba ones.
Yeah.
That's what I was just about to say. We went over to the...
Didn't seem to be any savoury food.
I've forgotten the name where we got the Simba toasty, the drink and the packet of crisps.
Cool Stop, I think
Cool
it's
Stop,
called.
yeah. They'd stopped doing them altogether. Whether that's just for the 30th, so nothing there.
I wonder if they just change up throughout the year what different things are available.
But also the waffles are off them. I think they were available in studios at one place. I think
they're
I'd seen.
usually after about 10 though, aren't they?
Yeah, I think I'd seen. To think Georgia got those, didn't she? She actually found the waffles, but they were in studios.
Yeah.
We weren't in studios a great deal.
We couldn't get anything savoury. I'm not really a sweet person, and there was nothing savoury. Like when we went to the deli in the morning, I love the coffee in the deli. And even like the savoury muffins and things, they were, everything was after 11. The baguettes, they've stopped doing.
Yep.
So yeah, I was a bit disappointed about that.
And then we found that later on in the day, a lot of the quick serve were closing quite early. And I think generally around about 4 or 5 o'clock in the park. Was it about 5-ish?
This is where you need to do your homework. This is where we went wrong. We did our homework on the menus. We knew what we wanted to eat, but we didn't check the times.
Yep.
And when we were there, all of the quick serves were closing between 4 and 5. It varied, some 4, some 4:30, some 5. Except for the Mexican place opposite Big Thunder Mountain. That stays open a little bit later. There is literally just burritos there and paprika fries.
I would eat it, but it's not my favourite.
You didn't really want to eat it, if you're totally honest.
I'd had the paprika fries, but
that's
that
not
wouldn't have
for
been
a main meal.
A main meal wouldn't have been.
Then the other place that's open was Casey's Corner, and we'd actually stopped and had lunch there already. So we didn't want hot dogs twice in a day. And the other place was the deli. So we ended up one evening just eating at the deli, which was a sandwich. That was it. It was a cute sandwich. It was Mickey shaped, but that was our evening meal.
And we were lucky that we'd got there. We didn't think of this either, but we got there at a time. Didn't do it intentionally. But once we had finished and then walked past again, the queue was out
because
the door.
Everything
because
was
everything
closing.
was closing. There was limited time. So I would say just check things out like that. Again, just shows that
really
we always say about do your research, which we had done, but we just assumed the times would still be the same. So
and the other thing is as well, Fantasyland is closing an hour early before the evening show.
And at the time we were wondering, why is that doing that? We couldn't understand it.
It was like 10 to 7. The show was starting at 8. 10 to 7, we thought we'd have an hour in Fantasyland.
Yep.
And then they'd stop letting people even in.
Yeah, and we were thinking, but why? Can't understand. Surely they're going to want people around. But then we realised why that was happening. And it was, I think, this is our opinion
guessing,
anyway, we're guessing, it's because of the drone show. it is actually over that side of the park, so I'm assuming they're having to close it off to be prepared so there's nobody there.
So just be aware of
it
that.
makes sense, whereas at the time you thought, we felt like we were just being funneled into Main Street. It's almost a case of like,
everyone
you can't
else
go everyone
was,
else.
the deli and Casey's Corner, the queues were massive because obviously all the food places have closed. Yeah, so just beware of that.
So I think if we were going to go again, just summarising on the food side of things, I think we would... I think we probably would have maybe one or maybe two reservations.
But I would book it earlier in the day, I think. Maybe have like a late lunch.
Yeah, now the parks are opening later though,
Yeah.
I think that would really work, because at the time we were there in November, it was great having the 6 o'clock because the park was already closed.
Yeah.
Whereas now, having it at 6, you feel like you're missing out. So I agree with you actually, and that also comes down to our way we normally work.
And then having like a hot dog or something later on.
Or snacks. Or there were some kiosks outside again, weren't there? Because we saw there was tarts fillet
in Disney Village.
in Disney Village.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
Or
Yeah,
maybe,
that's a good idea,
or maybe
actually.
even grabbing like an earlier nets.
Yeah.
When it's quieter. So
Yeah.
that's what we would do. So just be aware.
We got
Again,
caught out.
Things could change again. So it could be you're there and things are open till late. Could be all the quick serves are open, but it's just our experience from last week.
There was also a lot of places that were closed during the time. We really wanted to try the little dessert plate for the 30th in Victoria's. Was never open, and then it opened on our last day, just as we were in the park to say goodbye to the park.
Yep.
Because I think it's due to open like 1 o'clock, but it wasn't open.
Yeah.
And there was quite a few of the quick serves that, like the Last Chance Cafe was never open when we were there.
No.
There was quite a few of them, wasn't there?
We did note actually, again the whole time we were there, our other 2 trips, is it Hakuna Matata?
It's been closed, yeah.
But on our last day, we again saw menus were out.
Yeah, it's the first time we've seen that.
It looked like, I didn't actually check to see if it opened or not. I don't know if
I think
anyone's
it was
been.
due to open that afternoon.
So if anyone's been, if that has opened again, please leave a comment below. So.
But the quick serves seem to be open from about 11:30 until about 4, and some of them closing about 5. So just be warned, they're not open for very long at the moment.
So that us going to have a bit of a, shall we say, more of a budget trip in regards to food probably backfired on us, because we found a lot of our time we were thinking, what are we going to eat?
We had a few hangry moments, didn't we?
Yeah, and it was a case of...
you know, when your legs start to go really wobbly.
We did go to Sequoia Lodge the first night and grabbed really nice chicken wings each, and
were
also
really good.
the cheese board,
Yeah.
which was lovely. It was that was really nice. And it was cheaper than maybe having a full meal, but it was that kind of stage where we had to have something to eat, rather than maybe something to look forward to.
Yeah.
So I think maybe another time we would maybe have a couple of reservations, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. Right, to finish this video off,
we're going to talk about the staff.
the cast members.
And I know in our previous videos we've mentioned about the staff.
Yeah.
Go on.
I was going to say, I think Disneyland Paris has a reputation for not the most enthusiastic cast members. So we just want to say we met the most amazing cast members. We cannot say a single negative thing about anyone.
Not that we were looking for anything
No,
negative.
but everyone was amazing.
It was even the point we never knew the parade was on, and I've forgotten his name now.
Lucas,
that was it. He actually, because we were just stood
taking photos
taking
on
photos.
the
He
hub.
said, "Oh, are you here for the parade?" And it was, what parade?
What parade?
We obviously hadn't checked all the
Didn't
times
do
or
our
things like
research
that.
for that either.
And he said, "Well, it's just coming up sort of soon." He said, "In actual fact, if you stay around,"
I kept going back, more
10
questions.
minutes. And it was, and that's one thing I would say, that the parade was, or that, I forgot what parade it was. What was the parade?
30th celebration, I don't know.
I can't remember,
Was
because
it
I know there's
Carno?
different. Well, there's the Stars parade, which we
forgot,
missed.
I know.
Which we actually forgot. How bad is that?
5:30, I think it was supposed to be, or 5 o'clock.
We go back again.
Yeah, no.
So no.
Yeah, and Lucas was so lovely. Something you can do if you get amazing, or you just want to really compliment a member of staff, a cast member. We went to City Hall. They have a form that you can fill out, and that person then gets hopefully a nice pat on the back from a senior member of staff.
They've had that. We've known of that in Walt Disney World in Florida. I'm sure also in California as well for a long time. We've done that before in Orlando. But also for those who are maybe Orlando veterans as well and used to the app, on the My Disney experience, you can actually do that on the app now. You can actually thank the cast member, so you don't actually have to go anywhere to do it, and you can actually fill in your feedback there. I think it's a great thing to do, because I think
people are always quick to complain, aren't they?
Yeah, but people aren't as quick to actually praise on there. And I would actually say the cast members, I think the Tara Terra cast members.
I was just going to say that.
Absolutely. It was Tara Terra, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
one of them really made me jump as we were going on. And then when we were waiting in the queue upstairs.
Is it Cedric, his name?
Yeah.
And I'm sure I've heard people talk
mad.
about hope you see the enthusiastic cast member. So I wonder if it is him.
I don't know.
But it was amazing.
Speaks all the languages.
There was a party in front of us. There was French, English, and Spanish. And he explained everything in English.
But he does it really, really fast.
No, he did the France in really fast.
Yeah, that's right.
But then there was some Spanish there as well. So again, it was just.
But there was a lot of banter going on between him and the Spanish. Wasn't
exactly.
There? And it was really funny.
It's these things that make everything. We actually said, didn't we? We were talking about this because we've got a family trip coming up later in the year. And there's not all the family going to want to do, like, shall we say, let's say, I know they're not thrill rides, but they're not going to want to do things like Tara Terra. But we've actually said the experience of queuing, although queuing to nothing is a bit of a... But the queue is so interesting.
And if you've got the stairs down. If you don't want to ride, you can just get the stairs down and meet your family at the bottom.
That cast member experience was just so
great. We came
everyone.
across so many really helpful, lovely people. Not once, I've had it before. Not only in Paris, to be honest, we've had it in California. I saw a lot of them as just members that were going to work.
Yeah,
and you do
it's
get
a place to work.
Yeah,
more
you
than
get it in Florida. At the end of the day, people are human. You're going to have a bad day, but I couldn't criticise anyone.
No, I was even saying
Paris.
we had our first photo pass taken, didn't we? And he was really good.
Oh, the second one wouldn't. He wouldn't take our photo.
No, not that one. No,
I just thought about that. He wasn't very friendly.
No, that the magic shot. Do you remember? He was. But it was just. Yeah, so cannot fault the staff. I know last time we said, I think it was either our September, October trip or November one. I can't remember what months we went.
Don't know.
But the staff they were a little bit grumpy, weren't they?
You get some grumpy people, yeah.
It was fantastic.
Oh, something I do. I'm going to finish on a negative now, and I don't want to, but I think it's an important one. A friend of mine.
Of a positive.
Okay, you think of a positive. A friend of mine was out. She left the day we were travelling over, and she got pickpocketed during the evening show. I just wanted to point out to those that aren't aware, it is unfortunately known that you do get pickpockets in Disneyland Paris, sadly. Just be aware. I think she had a backpack or something on her back, and something got taken, unfortunately, which is really sad, and it was their last evening and just really obviously left with a sad note. So do be aware with your belongings, and be careful with how you store things, and be very vigilant, because it does happen, and she's not the only person I know that has been called out.
Before we went on our trip, apologies, I can't remember who messaged us, but they had been a few weeks back, and they was actually in Disneyland Paris, but it was actually, we're praising how Disneyland Paris actually helped the staff, but it was on the way. I'm not sure if it was on the train or whatever, but getting to the park in France, he was
on the train,
pickpocketed on the train as well. Disney were great. They really helped him being able to make calls and things like that.
But just
be very careful. We've heard of it a lot outside of the parks. It happening.
People getting on buses, things like that, when you've got a large crowd of people.
But this time it was the fact of, obviously, it was actually in the park. So just
really
be
sad.
really, really careful on that one. So
yeah, I just wanted just in case people aren't aware. Because my friend hadn't heard of it before. Right, happy note. Come on, let's finish on a positive.
We need to finish on a positive. Overall, really pleased that we went again.
Aid got a 30th pin.
I got two 30th pins. I got the goofy one, and also...
We haven't even filmed a haul. I just realised
we've not
that.
done
Everything's behind the sofa.
Yeah, but you've been feeling really rubbishy, so...
Right, no, on a positive.
Oh, a positive.
What was your favourite thing?
The parades.
Yeah, me too. They were so magical.
And it's that music, and I can't wait to get the videos up, and that's why it'd be nice to get...
looked at them yet,
it'd be nice to... We've got them all copied off. We just haven't. We've had a manic week with you being unwell as well, but...
Yeah, the parades, the evening show, it was amazing.
Also, would you be, because we've got quite a lot of parade footage, as well as doing our video, would people be interested in actually having, we haven't got the complete parade, but more of a video
I wondered that.
of actually putting the parade up?
And I would do it, I was thinking about doing it as a treat, so without ads. I don't know, saying that, I think YouTube still stick ads in anyway,
saying
don't they?
that, before we had a lower number of followers, when you're not actually like of the level of putting ads on, we noticed that YouTube actually put ads on.
Yeah.
So we can't quite understand that. But anyway, we're thinking
But yeah,
about
I
doing
was
a
going
parade.
to do it and include all the music and all that kind of thing. So if anyone wants that, let me know. But I'd also like to know who else is going out there for the 30th celebrations. I don't know how long they're on for, do you? Till Christmas?
Don't know.
Don't know. Does anybody else know? But let us know. What were you going to say?
Is it long enough for us to get a Starbucks mug?
Let us know if you're going out for the 30th, and if you are in for such a treat.
We absolutely loved it. It was
I'm so glad we went.
It was a real Disney experience, and before we went, as you probably had seen on our stories or even on some of our posts and things like that, or videos, we were undecided about it. We were, even to the last day, we were thinking, why are we going?
We just felt really tired. We've worked so much lately.
But it was a thoroughly enjoyable experience. I'm so glad we have our experience in Disneyland Paris, and it's just the ease, isn't it, to be able to get there. And also it's nice actually with say for example the drone show, there are things there that aren't actually at the other parks. I was speaking to somebody on Instagram out in the States who's a Orlando resident, and they're at the parks quite a lot, and they'd seen the Paris and they were so jealous of seeing the photos and videos of the Paris show. Aww. And saying, we need this over here, kind of thing. So
it's nice that there are differences.
It's nice there are differences. I would actually, I wouldn't be surprised if we see things like that come into Orlando and also California, maybe.
Who knows? Anyway, let's finish this.
Thank you ever so much, and hopefully soon we will get some Paris videos up.
I'm going to film a little. I think we'll do a little haul and talk about snacks and merch and things next as well. But thank you for watching.
Thank you so much.
Let us know if you're heading out.
And any questions as well.
I hope the camera worked okay.
Yeah, we'll have to see if we're in focus on that.
I can't be bothered to film all this again. But thank you very much. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.